Hello students, this is your video to accompany the Project 2 assignment prompt. This assignment is a formal complaint and response letter, and this one is special because it has a social media component as well. The image on your screen right now is the assignment prompt. There are many items that you need to include in the final submission of this assignment, and so I'm going to go over them here in this video with you. This will be submitted ultimately as a single PDF, and you will also include the slow reflections, as you did with Project 1, in their designated areas on your Google site or your other website. You'll also include a single one-page document that is your project reflection. So to keep this video rather brief, I'm just going to jump right in to the substantive issues at hand concerning this assignment. So first of all, I want to highlight the project student learning outcomes that we're going to be using in this assignment. First, this assignment is going to exercise your skills in project planning. You're going to plan, research, and compose a technical document. Actually, you're going to compose a few, 2 different letters, a summary statement, and some social media components. The second slow you're going to be working on, and this is the most important one for this assignment, is project analysis. You're going to work to identify readers for these documents, and you're going to be working on suiting your writing to an audience's needs. You're going to learn how technical documents need to be composed for specific global, diverse, and multicultural situations. And you'll see that that bolded text on your screen is very much at play in this assignment. And we take some issues concerning the needs of diverse readers straight on in this assignment. The third slow we'll go over and work with in this assignment is content development. You're going to understand how the genre and conventions impact writing strategies. In this case, a complaint letter and a response letter. The genre is the complaint letter or the response letter, or the genre of the social media output, like a tweet or a Facebook post. And you're going to learn about how the conventions of those genres dictate what you write in those formats. So in this assignment, as I said, you're going to be writing a summary statement, a complaint letter, a response letter, and some social media posts. But I constrain for you the subject that you're going to have to read about, complain about, and respond to. These are all issues that have come up in the national consciousness in the last year or two, and in the local New Mexico consciousness or context also in the last year or two, concerning issues that have put certain racial groups into a very uncomfortable or perhaps even discriminated against position. And so you're going to read about these, and as I said, we're going to take this head on. The first story concerns a sort of racially suspect Kellogg's Corn Pops cereal box. I've included the link to an article here. The next concerns a Facebook ad for Dove's campaign for real beauty. You might have heard about this. There's another article about that there. The third story concerns the social network Nextdoor. Some of you may use this in your neighborhood, and the ways in which some users have a tendency to racially profile when they're posting about issues in their neighborhood. The last 2 issues concern circumstances related directly to the University of New Mexico. One concerns the historic logo or seal for our university, and the other concerns a series of paintings or murals that are in our own Zimmerman Library. What you need to do to prepare yourself to do this assignment is read all of these linked articles here, just so you get a general broad understanding of how companies that communicate with audiences, whether this is a company like Kellogg's or a large organization like the University of New Mexico, how they need to communicate with the audience, with their audience, and that is comprised of multi-ethnic, diverse community members. So I'm going to show you the articles that are linked here. USA Today about this sort of misstep on the part of Kellogg's in depictions of their corn pops on a cereal box. And so you can see that the article concerns what the problem was with these depictions, some people complaining about it on Twitter, and the way that the Kellogg's Corporation took this issue on and responded to it. And you can see how the tweet is formatted here, or a Facebook post is formatted. The next issue is an article from the New York Times, and it concerns Dove's campaign for real beauty, in which they show a black woman taking off her shirt and becoming a white woman. I remember this being in the news in the last year and the controversy that ensued as a result of this very problematic situation. And you'll see that this is an example that shows some of the social media response on the part of people who were very disturbed by this demonstration by Dove and some responses from the company themselves. The next article concerns the Nextdoor app. Nextdoor, the social network for neighbors, is becoming a home for racial profiling. So I want you to read about how this happens and why this happens, and why individual users might complain to Nextdoor about this phenomenon. So the following examples are the ones about University of New Mexico specifically, about student groups being very concerned about the iconography and the descriptions or representations, historical representations as shown in our logo, our seal here, with a pioneers person and a conquistador shown in the logo. The next example concerns these murals in the Zimmerman Library. So the first thing I want you to do is read those articles. Once you've done that, you are going to take on the subject of one of these circumstances. You're going to take a stand on one of these circumstances. And you're going to write to the key stakeholders, whether that's the CEO of one of the companies or the president of our university, depending on which issue you take on. So you're going to write a complaint letter, you're going to write a response letter after that from the vantage point of the president of the company or the CEO of the company or the president of our university, and then you're going to compose some Twitter posts or some Facebook posts as if you were the social media officer from the company or the university. What you need to do before you do those things is summarize the circumstance. You have to start your PDF submission with a half-page summary. And the summary needs to follow the conventions of writing a summary. And I've included a page here that is a very simple description of how you write a summary. And the link to this is in the assignment itself. Okay, so I also wanted to show you before I conclude this video the page in your textbook that you need to refer to about writing a complaint letter. So this is on page 150 and it talks about claims or complaint letters. And then figure 6.5, this shows the complaint letter that's featured in your book, and you'll see that it's a multi-paragraph complaint. And you're going to want to follow this general format, these genre conventions when you're writing your complaint, similar conventions when you write your response. But be sure that you read this chapter really carefully. You're also going to want to look back at the articles that I showed you earlier on in this video to show how the corporate representatives use their social media channels to respond to these controversies, because you're going to emulate those tactics when you create your own social media responses in response to the subject that you've chosen for this assignment. So let's see. This assignment is quite long. It gives a lot of details about what you need to submit. And I just want to return before I conclude this video to the real reason why we're doing this. We really want to take on the SLO of project analysis, which concerns audience analysis. And from reading the chapters in this module, you should understand that there are many specific ways that you can do an in-depth investigation of the needs, concerns, and values of your user base and your audience and the members of the community that uses your products. And the onus is on you to do that kind of research so that you adequately serve their needs. I hope this video has answered a lot of the questions that you might have about this assignment. If you have any further questions, be sure that you reach out to me.